It's Friday morning, about 11:30 a.m. And we are kind of in the final stretch back to Subic. The very strong wind that came in yesterday afternoon again and lasted all through the night really hastened our passage, which was great. But coming down in the dark last night on the west side of Masbate, with no moonlight in the dark and the wind blowing 25 and gusting a little more, had only the staysail up, and had to do a little maneuvering around a couple of fishing boats, which is pretty normal. So it was a bit of a wild ride. Quite a bit of motion because only had the staysail up and we were sailing almost dead downwind. I actually wound up jibing off like 30 degrees to keep the sail filled better. Anyway, that continued through the night. In the early hours, about 4 o'clock in the morning, it started a very light misty rain. And the conditions pretty much stayed the same. Made a final turn shortly thereafter and got to just south of Pintolo Island. That's the island off the southwest end of Masbate, about 7 o'clock this morning. The wind was still quite strong, so we were just zipping along with both the tidal current and the staysail, making up around 5 knots. Now at 11:30, the wind has dropped down. It's blowing, I don't know, 12 to 15. The seas have gone down. Altogether, beautiful day. A lot of the cloud cover that was here in the south yesterday is gone, but not all of it. Saw quite a bit of lightning last night, but it was way off in the distance. Anyway, we should be arriving in Carmen sometime. Okay, there's my honey, sitting there playing a game on her phone.
What can I do for you, honey?
Nothing right now, dear. We're just practicing our laziness. We're getting pretty good at being lazy, but you know, it never hurts to keep practicing. Boat takes care of itself, sailing along.
Sailing along.
And we're enjoying the day.
Yeah.
Last night in the wee hours while I was dancing around, changing the head sail from one side of the boat to the other to avoid some fishing craft, all of a sudden the bottom of the sail started climbing up the stay. And I went, oops, something wrong. I went up there and I found this. This is a fitting that's used to hold the bottom of the corner of the sail down. Now that fitting has been on there probably since I left the U.S. But as you can see, this is supposed to be one piece. And this fitting, this part, should be made of forged stainless steel. However, it broke neatly across there. And if you look at the metal in the end, you can see it's very grainy. Not sure what caused the failure, but stainless in time will work harden. And when the sail's fluttering, this part is often being snapped up and down like that. And maybe after who knows how many thousands of miles and how many hundreds of times it's done that, the stainless steel fatigued and broke. So I made a quickie repair with a short piece of small line. That's still working. I don't know if I have another new part like this. I'll have to look in my stash of goodies. Worry about that when I get back to Carmen.